everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. I hope you guys are having a happy Friday. For those of you who didn't realize it was Friday because we've been in quarantine for so long, yes, today is actually Friday and we are getting ready for the weekend. All right, I'm super excited to have a very talented young lady that I've known for a few years. It's been very interesting to see her journey, and I'm super excited that she's here to talk to me about all the stuff that she has been doing. I mean, this girl, she's not only a dancer, but she's a singer, she's an actress, and now an author. So we are going to talk all about that as she continues to slay. So let's bring in Miss Nia Sioux. So I'm gonna bring her on, and we are going to and Kiki. And I know I'm gonna have to readjust this and everything. Nia!
Hi!
Hi!
Oh my gosh, Tony, how are you?
Oh, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. I love that intro. It was so sweet.
Well, I mean, listen, seriously, since we first met while doing Dance Moms, it's so interesting to see, one, how much you've grown up, and
Yeah.
two, how you just continue to pursue your passions and your dreams, and you're not letting anything stop you. And then the other day when I saw that you had a book out, I was like, okay, now hold on. The train is not stopping, not one bit.
No, not at all. But yeah, oh, it's so good to see you. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
it's so good to see you too. It's been a while. I
It
think the
has.
last time I saw you was briefly at the Daytime Emmys last year.
Oh my, was it actually that long ago?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
It was super quick. We said hi, and then you were working the red carpet. I was like, look at her. And I talked to your mom. Shout out to your mom, Holly.
Yes, Mama Holly.
And
She's on the live right now. I don't know. She's watching right now.
hey, Holly. And I was just I just remember seeing you, and I was like, man, this journey has just been so amazing for you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. That was such a long time ago.
Yeah,
Now thinking about it, I'm like, wow, it's been a year since the Daytime Emmys last year, and that was the last
yeah.
time I saw you, which is crazy. We used to see each other all the
Oh,
time while I
yeah,
was on the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was always somehow I got wrangled into hosting those award shows.
Yeah. I was like, we used to see each other all the time.
All the time.
At least twice a month, at least.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And talking a little bit about that time of Dance Moms, overall, how was that experience for you? Because that's how we were introduced to little old Nia, who was just there to dance and live her life, and
Yep.
So how was that experience?
Overall, the whole experience, I would say, it was a great platform. Even though whenever I first went on the show, it wasn't about the platform. It was just me dancing, just living my best life, just having fun, and learning and competing. It wasn't really about having a platform, but I would say overall, it was definitely an interesting experience. I can't say it was an amazing experience because there are I wish I could say oh, it was the best experience ever, but it was not one of those things where it's I would
it was an interesting experience.
Yes, it was an interesting experience, and I am so grateful for that experience. I do not take it for granted for a second. Would I want to do it again? Probably not. But I have learned so much, and I've grown so much as a person from the show. But definitely, everything that I've been able to do after the show, it gave me that platform to do things that I've always wanted to do and open up opportunities that I never thought I would have. So overall, I would say the show was such a blessing in a way, because I learned so much and I grew so much from it. But there are still some things where it's the show definitely made an impact on my life in some ways, where it's when it comes to, I don't know, just being confident sometimes, because I know that I was portrayed as the weak dancer, or I was always called out and told that I wasn't good enough, and I
Mm-hmm.
always felt like I was kind of like on the outside. Like I always felt like I didn't fit in at times.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are definitely some things where it's like, okay, well, um, I just feel like sometimes looking back, it's like, oh, well, I wish some of that didn't happen because it probably set me up better for now. Because I mean, I'm good now. Like I, I have a very great family, and I'm blessed to have
Yeah.
good families. And, like to have the mom and dad that I have, like they push me through everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they give some of the best advice. So to have
Yeah.
a supportive family like that is amazing.
Yeah.
But me just thinking about it, it's like, oh, well, some things I'm like definitely didn't need to be said. And I think all of the girls from the show will probably need to go to therapy at some point in life. But but overall, the show, it was good. It was good
Yeah.
overall.
Well, see, I always because like back in the day, and you came into AfterBuzz when I was
Yes.
doing recaps of the show, and
Mhm.
one of the things that I always noticed about you was that you were a very hard worker. You were
Thank
always
you.
someone that took the note and really worked hard to fix it, to make it better, and really to do the best that you could. And also, with your mom being, such a strong woman and such a positive influence in you, I liked the dynamic that you all added to the show, where, it's kind of like the tea, but you really don't want to be a part of the tea unless you
Mhm.
need to be a part of it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I always enjoyed about you and your mom, and that she
Thanks.
really, encouraged you and supported you, but she also did not take any crap. Like she was
No,
like,
absolutely. Like she was definitely not a doormat. Like if she did not
yeah,
need to be involved in drama, she would not. Like she wasn't trying to like look for drama.
yeah,
And I think that's what makes us different because we're not, as much as you would think that we would be into it, we're really not. We try
yeah.
to stay out of it. But if someone's coming after my mom's child, she's gonna go after them. She's gonna
Oh,
make her point.
trust me, I know.
You're like, I know. I
I
witnessed
know.
it.
What did you learn about yourself that you took away from the show? Because it was, you started on the show very young and then
Mhm.
basically kind of grew up, on the
Yeah.
show. What did you learn about yourself that you still kind of hold on to?
I would say that like I'm a lot stronger than I think I am
Hmm.
because looking back at things, I it's so funny because I can't remember a lot of what happened. It like all seems like a blur,
Yeah,
but sometimes people like some of the girls like or someone will bring up an experience or something that happened. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I can't believe that actually happened. Like, I don't know how we went through that. Like, I don't know how I managed to get through that part of my life. And at the
yeah.
time, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, especially whenever I went off to do music on my own. That was a
Hmm.
very hard time for me. Definitely. I cried like almost every night just because I
Oh,
felt so just excluded and just so not alone because I was with my mom, but in a way, like I just felt so different from
yeah.
everyone else. So I was just like going through that whole situation. Um, it just taught me that like how strong I really am and how much
Hmm.
like you can overcome like uh you can overcome any obstacle. I think that's
Yeah.
what the show um really taught me about myself. Um I also learned that I do not like drama at all.
Right.
Like in the slightest bit. Like I hate confrontation
Yeah.
and I try to avoid it as much as possible. Um and I guess that I learned that I truly love to dance because I feel like at the end of the show I didn't have a passion for it as much anymore because
Mhm.
we worked so hard and we were kind of like robots at the end. Like we just had to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough time at the end, definitely. Like the last 2 to 3 seasons, like all of us were kind of just like, oh my gosh, like, it's hard on your body, first of all. It's hard
Mhm.
on you physically, emotionally. It's not a very good environment. It's kind of toxic in a way.
Mhm.
So I feel like all of that is just like I think I learned that I actually do love to dance at the very end. Like I took a year off after the show ended, and
Yeah.
then I realized I'm like, oh no, I really do love to dance. It's like
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, no, I really do love it, even though I had to take a break. I'm like, no, I do love dancing. But
You
yeah,
know, sometimes you have to like step away from
yeah,
something in order to refine the love of it. Um, I kind of compare it to when I was younger. I used to love reading. Like I would read
Mhm.
books all the time. I would read
Right,
autobiographies because I used to love just knowing about people. And then in school, when it was required, I was like, ugh, I
right.
hate this. I was
Said
like,
no.
where are the cliff notes? So I do not recommend cliff notes to anyone that's watching. But I was like, listen, where are the cliff notes? Where's the
Hmm.
movie? Like the joy
I
of
know
it,
that.
you
Yeah.
know, it just leaves. But then I took a second and I picked up a book and I was like, I do like this. I like the escapism of like just being in someone else's world. So I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to refine the passion for it, especially
Mhm.
when something starts feeling more like a job than
Right.
you truly waking up and loving going to it. It kind of,
Hmm.
you have to refine that love. But I'm glad you
Me
did
too.
because you're amazing. You're an amazing dancer, you're an amazing
Thank
singer,
you.
amazing actress. I still remember because my intro to the whole dance moms world was Australia.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember we went to your performance.
Yes.
And it was your first single, "Starring Your Own Life."
Hmm.
And I remember standing back there going, wow, like this girl is slaying up here. And like everybody was like living, and I was like, yeah. I can't say the words that I actually said because like too young, these people are too young, but just know like I was absolutely living for it. And then like the video came out and I was like, she is like really doing it and like stepping into her own. Like what made you at what point what made you decide like, okay, this is another part of me that like I want to venture into and try out and see.
Right. Well, whenever I've always wanted to be on Broadway, like that's just always been a dream of mine.
Mhm.
And like I've just always loved theater.
Yeah.
So throughout my life, I mean, I would like sing around the house, but like I would didn't, it wasn't like dance. When
Yeah.
I was about like, I'd say like 11, 12, I started taking voice lessons because I feel like a lot, like my family, I kept on asking for them. And like even some friends are like, oh, you should take voice lessons. Like you have a pretty little voice. So I'm like, okay. So I
Mhm.
took voice lessons and I honestly kind of fell in love with it. And I started out with classical and like gospel and kind of like
Mhm.
jazz. Um, and then I worked my way to like, a little bit of musical theater in a way, just a little bit. And
Yeah.
then um, I actually got introduced to like the whole like studio kind of feel, like recording artist
Yeah.
thing. I forgot what summer, what year it was, but I was 13 when I first started going to the recording studio to start Starring Your Own Life.
Yeah.
And um, I think I just saw all the like there were so many other girls on the show who, oh wait, I think, oh gosh, did I lose
Oh, there
connection?
you
Okay,
go.
sorry, I thought I lost connection. Um, a lot of the girls on the show were putting out music and
Yeah.
were creating music and doing music videos and stuff. And I was like, oh well, I really want to do it. I was like,
Yeah.
it looks like fun. It looks like something that I would love. So actually, I was at a master class. I was assisting a master class, and Aubrey O'Day came to the master class,
Mhm.
and she was like, well, if you're really serious about doing music, like I will help you with it, because she saw that Abby wasn't going to help me. She saw that because Abby said that in the thing and on stage, basically in front of everybody.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so she came to me after and was like, if you're really serious about it, like I would love to help you get started. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. And then the show wanted to
Yeah.
follow it and everything. But yeah, I have a lot to thank for Aubrey O'Day for getting me even started with music in general, but
Yeah.
it became a part of me whenever I was around like 13 years old. I'm like, wow, I really truly do love this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Are you still in touch with Aubrey?
I have not talked to her in a very long time, but I mean, she's my mom and I will reach out from time to time just to make sure she's doing well. But yeah, but
Yeah.
we love her. Like she definitely, I give a lot of credit to her for even just taking a chance and for giving me the connection to radio and Mikey Minden for help, like for
Oh
real,
my.
just introducing me to so many great people
Yeah.
who helped me do what I wanted to do. So I have a lot, like I have, like I thank her a lot for that.
Who are some of your musical influences? Like, who do you look at and go, "Ooh, yeah, like I like that," or
Well, obviously Beyonce.
I mean, hello,
Obviously.
hello.
But as the years gone on, Normani, I
Oh,
love her. I
yeah,
love her so much.
yeah.
Also, this is kind of random, but I love Megan Thee Stallion. Love her.
Savage.
Savage. Who else? I love Khalid. Love
Uh-huh.
him. And there's a bunch of other. Who else? Oh, Julia Michaels. I love Julia Michaels.
Mm, yeah.
And Sarah Bareilles. Very
Oh,
random, but like I just love her and I love her
yeah.
lyrics to her songs. And then I listen to a lot of, I don't know what I guess technically it's EDM, which is, you would probably never expect that from me, but Louis the Child, I love their stuff. And
Yeah.
but I feel like the ones that really influenced me would be probably like Beyonce and Rihanna and
Mm,
like just all of the I would say Black women who bring so much like attitude and so much power whenever they perform. Like
yeah.
just looking up to them is just, yeah,
Yeah.
they're great people to look up to, especially performing wise, because it's just like, wow, I want to entertain people like they entertain, you know?
Right. It's such a like, you know how much I love Beyonce. And
Oh yeah.
like it's like, but you just look at her and go like, that's a performer. Like,
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
she just gives like so much and you're just like, like I want it all. I want to embody her. I want to like
Yeah.
grow up in my next life and be her. Um,
Yes.
she's everything. But you definitely have some bops going on, and you just
Thanks.
right before Miss Rona came in, you had
I
just
know.
uh, she came in like we weren't expecting her. Miss Rona showed up, and we were like, "Who are you?"
Who are you? We
Right?
didn't invite
But
you.
it's like we weren't like we're good. Like you didn't have to
Yeah,
come here,
we're good. Thank you very much.
right? But you released Low Key Love, uh,
Yes.
and I was like, now. What she know about old school love? Like where did this song come from?
We're
Like
the-
where did this bop come from? Like how did it come about?
Okay, so when I went to the studio, Danny and I, he helped me write the song,
Hmm.
and helped produced it and stuff. But when I first went to the studio, we started talking and we were trying to figure out like what concept I really wanted to do. And then we came up with the subject of boys, because it always comes up.
Yes.
And I was just like, you know what? I literally just want something so low key where it's just like it's so chill. Like I'm a very chill
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
and I've done the whole, I don't know, like dating in the public eye thing and I hated it. So I'm just
Yeah.
like I was just like I just want something that's so low key and I just want someone who just likes me for me
Yeah.
and like in like for me I'm like I don't expect anything flashy but I don't want them to try and impress me with like flashy things. Like I
Yeah.
just want something that is so mellow and so just like grounded and down to earth, like nothing flashy, just
Yeah.
something that is so chill.
Yeah.
Because I think that's my personality in general, but
Yeah.
I guess that's what I just look for in guys. Like I just like I guess I like basic people in a way. maybe, I don't know. But I just wanted something that was like a song that was chill, but also we started thinking about like what's like low key love, kind of like driving movies and like putting your arm around them and leaning in close, like giving them your sweatshirt, just like the little things that make girls and me happy. Just the little things
Just
that are
the little
important.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I listened to it and I was like, okay. And then I was like, now, wait a minute. Now, first of all, when did Nia start dating? Like, I turned into like a big brother. I'm like, when did this all start happening? And then, and then I was like, it was weird because like I get it. Like, I understand because like, I feel like with your generation, which is different from my generation, like, it's
This
all
generation
about.
is so hard to date in this generation. I'm sorry, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough, and especially when everything is so social media driven, and it's like, oh, we have to take a picture of us here and there, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to be bogged down with that. Sometimes you just want to like really get to know somebody, and
Yeah.
like,
Sometimes you just want to live life.
yeah, and it's like I don't need every like, can we just document stuff for ourselves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything doesn't have to go up and be on the gram, and I don't want everybody all up in my business and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, so. Mia trying to teach the generation on how to like keep it cute and keep it
Yeah.
love. Like you ain't got to do all this extra. You can
No, you
just
don't have to
like
do all the
date and
extra.
get to know somebody, and don't nobody got to be in your business.
Yeah, exactly. There's even a line that's like, don't you go posting about us, because it's just like it's a lot. I mean, this generation in dating and everything, it's just like
Yeah,
it's so different. And I'm like acting like I know how different it is because I've been around for a long time when I'm really 18 years old. But I know it's different for a fact because what I see in movies
yeah,
is what my mom tells me, and what I see in movies, it is
yeah,
different.
yeah. Look, trust me, it's very different. Like
Yeah.
I remember growing up and like
Tired of being ghosted.
I mean. I like apparently like in this generation that's your answer. Like if someone ghosts you, like it is what it is. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you got to say something. You got to
Yeah,
talk. You got
I'm
to
like, no,
communicate.
it's
You know?
not what it is.
No, it's like say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't be just like ghosting people. That's not you.
Yeah.
Um, so you've also ventured into acting, which
Yes.
I was actually there for the premiere of your film. Um,
Oh, yes, running from my roots.
Running from my roots, yes. And I was
Yes.
like, again, there I am in the theater, like, look at Miss Nia, living the best life. Um, how was that journey for you? Because you eventually ended up on one of the most popular soap operas, Bold and the
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I'm like, when that was announced, I was like, okay, like I need to find out who Nia's folks are because Nia is over here like slaying the game. How was it venturing into acting and then being on Bold and the Beautiful?
Oh my gosh. Acting has, I mean, dancing is kind of like a form of acting, I would say, because
Mhm.
you have to play a character. So playing a character has always been in me. I've always loved being dramatic.
Yeah,
So just bringing that to, I guess, like TV and film, and then also adding dialogue to it, definitely
yeah,
different. But um, diving into that world, it's honestly totally different from like honestly anything I have really done because there's so much that you have to think about. It's all about listening and reacting. That's all acting
mhm,
is listening and reacting and
yeah,
just being natural. And I mean, I've learned so much over the years about acting, and I had a great, my manager used to be my acting coach before she was
mhm,
my manager.
mhm,
And um, I had a great acting coach as well who she recommended, who I was with for a few years, and unfortunately he passed away. He was very old, but
oh,
he taught me so much about acting. And um I guess I just kind of fell in love with it because I love putting on a show, and I love just it's kind of like an outlet. You got to be someone that you're not, you know?
yeah,
You
yeah,
can you can be the mean girl, you can be the, I don't know, the nerd, you can do like literally whatever you want. And there's honestly, if you think about it, there's so many stories that need to be told, and it's such, I feel like acting is such like an important job, because when you get a good actor to play a certain role and they execute it like in the way they execute it, if they execute it well, it's just like, wow, like you feel like they're actually in that. Like last night I watched The Great Gatsby, and Leonardo DiCaprio, there's like a line where it was like it looked like he had murdered someone, like he's actually killed someone, and like you could see it in his eyes, like he actually looked like he could kill someone, when really it's Leonardo DiCaprio, like he never actually killed someone, but like like the fact that he can put that on, I don't know, it's just it amazes me. So like anything in performing arts is just like, I'm very creative in that way. I mean, don't ask me to draw, but like I'm very creative in the arts in that way. Like whether it's singing, dancing, acting, I feel like all of it is connected. And dancing definitely helped me with both of them. Definitely. Yeah, just being up on stage and getting to, and like learning dances really fast, it's helped me with so much.
Yeah. What was it like working on Bold and the Beautiful? Because soaps are very fast. Like you have to, it's a completely different world. What was that experience like for you going into that and realizing the fast pace of it?
Right. Bold and the Beautiful was probably one of the best experiences I have ever had. Like it was truly, like I loved it. Like it was, I like never even wanted to go home at like the end of the day. But I've learned so much from that show in general, because they shoot really fast. They do 2 episodes a day. And first of all, that's just insane. 2 episodes a day, 4 days a week. That's just it's crazy. And you shoot like every scene. If you get it in one take, they'll just do the one take. Like you don't, so like if you need another take, like a second take or something, they will do it, but it's usually just one take, which is like unheard of. So that's just how they do things on soaps. So I had a lot to get used to, but it was a great training ground in a way, because I got to learn lines so fast by the end of it. Like at first, not gonna lie, I was struggling a little bit to learn my, it's like, oh my gosh, because this is one of my first acting jobs, and I'm like, I've never done this before. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And I do have to thank a lot, especially like Annika Noel. She plays Hope on the show. She really took me under her wing. And actually there were a few people on the show who definitely took me under their wing and helped me if I needed help. If I had any questions, they would help me out. And so many people that did believe in me, and just I was definitely the youngest one. I started on the show when I was 16. That's super young. Everyone else is, definitely at least in their early 20s. So so me, a 16-year-old coming on, is just definitely like, okay, who is this girl? But I learned so much from the show, and getting to like get the lines down, especially by the end, just how I could get my lines down and execute the material. It was just like, wow, I've come such a long way from when I started.
Did you develop any techniques on how to like get your lines down as quick as possible?
There were some apps, but then also it was something that like just had to click in my brain. Like I just had to, like, for me, it's different for everyone how they learn lines, but so it's just like how, like, you figuring out how you learn your lines. But for me, learning lines, it came like sometimes I would try and learn the lines, but I couldn't get it down because I wasn't connected to it. I was just like trying to learn some lines on a piece of paper, when really, like, if you listen and look and actually read the material, everything connects to each other. Like if someone says hi, you're probably going to say hi back, or what do you say? Like it's a back and forth kind of thing. So actually, like if my mom's helping me, like she'll read them and I'll keep on doing it, and it's just like repeating. It's very like for me it takes me sometimes to learn lines if it's a lot of dialogue, but really breaking each part down and just like actually figuring out what is happening in this scene, like what reaction, like do I want to get out of the other person, what reaction are they trying to get out of me. So it's just kind of that sort of thing.
Now, what was it like filming that last scene with the car wreck and like you like looked up at the guy who like ran you off the road and like your character being killed off, and then
that
like
was a bittersweet moment because it was my death scene.
Yeah.
Oh my, but it was really fun. It was sad because I'm like, oh, this is my last scene, but it was also really fun because I was like, oh my gosh, like I get to die on camera, like it's pretty cool. I feel like that's every actor's dreams to like,
everybody wants a death scene.
Everyone wants a death scene, so I was actually really excited. But oh my gosh, that was a fun day. I had to like figure out what like I don't know. I don't even know. I was just like pretending to be dead. Like you can't like breathe. So and like my eyes at the very end, they were like still open. Like they like I don't know. It was just
and it's like, how do you look vacant? Like how do you look lifeless? You know, but you're still like was it eerie like when it actually aired, like to watch it all play out with like the music and everything, like how did you feel watching it?
Whenever I watched it back, I was actually with my two best friends, Jake and Sophie, and we were in Palm Springs for my birthday. Well, for all of our birthdays, and I love how that scene came on like on my birthday, and we were all just watching it. And they were like, Nia, like, that's you. They were like, this is crazy. Like, you're dead on there, but you're here right now. Same with my dad. He's like, that's my baby girl.
I know. It has to be such a weird feeling to like to act it out is great, but then to watch it like play out, you're like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, why do I actually look dead?
Well, it was such a dynamic storyline, and I'm glad that you had that experience and got to play with that. And then you had Wayne Brady's daughter,
Miley,
Miley as well. Yeah.
Yes, I'm really good friends with her now. She's awesome. I love that girl.
And then now we're about to have the release of your first children's book.
Yeah.
So now we're adding author to the array of like, listen.
Yes,
you were just like,
we are.
It's like I could be a triple threat, but let me add one more thing to it. And I love that. The children's book is called Today I Dance.
Yes.
And it's essentially about a story of your first dance class. Like what inspired you to want to put the story out for young upcoming dancers?
Right. So when I was thinking, I've always wanted to write a book, just didn't know how or when. And this has been a process. This book has been in the works for about like 15 months now. And I guess when I first started writing it, it's just like, what would little Nia like to read? You know, like what would I like to read whenever I was younger? And I started thinking about it. I was like, well, let's write about my first dance class and getting ready for it, because it's such an exciting time for so many little girls. And also I feel like there's not a ton of children's books where there's like an African American dancer. You just don't see that much. I mean, there's Misty Copeland, who's absolutely amazing, but I can't name too many dance books with like a little black girl on the cover. So I was like, I feel like this is definitely different for a lot of girls, and to see, and for like little girls, like if I was young, like I would love to see a girl that looked like me on a front page dancing, you know? So I just felt like probably speaks volumes to, I would say, the little dancers that are just starting to dance, because they're like, oh, that looks like me, I can go dance like that, like her. But when I first started this process, I was like, oh, how did I feel when I first go into dance class? And it was just like that first like memory of me having fun and putting on my first pair of ballet shoes and tap shoes and going to jazz for the first time, like shaking it and giving sassiness, like, you know.
Which you definitely have. Like, I was like, yes. And then, of course, an extension of that was when Shangela brought it out in you.
Oh, yes. Shangela did bring it out.
Yeah, it's like you could tell there was sassiness in there, but then like Shangela just went in and said, "Yeah, we're gonna like take it all out of you."
She was like, "We bringing that all out."
So is the book out? It's coming out. It's on pre-order right now.
It's coming out. So, it's available for pre-order right now, and then the actual book comes out on June 16th.
Nice. Oh, this is like I'm not surprised at like the continued like addition of just doing things and going after things that you want to do. And you're such a great role model for your generation and the girls who like follow you and love you. There have been so many people like in the comments, I've seen them scroll up, that just love you and adore you and like appreciate you. What would you say to them, like just to give them inspiration and like hope and like be like a supportive like voice for them? What would you say to them?
I would say to them, I mean, it's crazy how to me it's crazy how people see me as a role model. Obviously, like, that's an honor, just because I'm like, I know, like, I am not perfect at all. Like, I make mistakes. I am just human.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, I am not perfect. But I feel like something that I want people to know, and like the best advice I have to give is just to know your worth. Honestly, that's something my mom has always said to me. Just know your worth. Don't be a doormat. But also be respectful and kind. It doesn't really matter how far you go in life if you don't have a good attitude and if you're not kind to people, honestly. Like, be the best you can be. And it starts from like within. It's not really like success for me is like how I view myself as a person, and like how not necessarily like, oh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. It's just like success is just what makes me happy. And I feel like that's something that I feel like a lot of people need to realize, is that like success isn't how much you make or everything that you're doing. It's just what makes you happy, and if you're a good person inside, you know?
Yeah. That's what I always remind. I have a niece who's 14, and I just want her to know her worth and recognize the good things about her and the good things that make up her, and always know that she's enough, and to never let anyone like get in the way of what she wants to do, because there's a whole world out here, and it's like whatever you want to do, and you're a great case in point. You can do it. You know, there may be some obstacles, but like you overcome them and you learn from them and you grow from them, and eventually
you grow from literally every mistake. Like, honestly, like everything is a learning experience. Everything. So don't, and also be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. That's something that I've had to learn, because I'm very hard on myself sometimes. And just to be kind, because you are enough, you know? And everyone's a work in progress. So just be kind to yourself, and just don't worry about where you're going, because you're gonna get there, and just always keep going, because you can get through it.
Exactly. Oh, well, Nia, I'm so glad that we had a chance to like catch up and talk and like talk about all the stuff that you're doing. It's been like way too long, and hopefully when like Rona is over, like we can all like get together and like chit chat in person, like have brunch or something like that.
Oh, that'd be great. We should definitely do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't know if your mom told you or not, but like I dragged her to a drag brunch one time, and we had
She
so much
told
fun.
me I needed to go next time.
Yes, yes. We had
I
we
want to
had a
go so
great
bad.
time. The food was good, the entertainment was good. Like we had a ball. So we have to make sure that happens next time.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down.
All right. Well, give my best to your family and all the best to you. And we'll stay in touch and continue doing what you're doing because you're slaying.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thanks,
you're so
Tony.
welcome.
Bye, everyone. Love
Anytime.
you all. See
Bye,
ya.
Nia. What a dynamic young lady. Like Nia is one of the brightest, smartest, talented young women that I know, and I appreciate her taking the time to come on to tell me more with me, tell me more. If you guys want to follow Nia, if you aren't already, make sure you follow her on Instagram at Nia Sioux. And if you're interested in pre-ordering her book, go to bookbynia.com to pre-order today. I Dance, which is the name of the book. Even though if you're not a kid, it's always good to have around to continue to inspire yourself. And listen, get all of her music where all music can be found and find that low-key love. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. And stay tuned because we have a whole lineup of people happening today. Next up, we have Henry Goldblatt, who is the former editor-in-chief of Entertainment Weekly, to talk about what you should be binge watching now. Until next time, thanks, y'all. Bye.